An O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card is the perfect gift for that hard-to-buy-for person. Give the gift of convenience from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, what were you up to on Friday, August 23rd, 1991? If you were like me, uncool and underqualified, you were likely jumping on your bicyclette, heading to the local video flicks to rent the newly released Super Nintendo. Not merely a Nintendo with a cape. This was 16 bits. Hoo-yah. Maybe you were listening to some of the mainstream music of the time. You were listening to Van Halen for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, or the Robin Hood soundtrack, or CNC Music Factory. These were all charting at the time. Number one on the charts was Natalie Cole. Down at number 10 was a band that was starting to tweak my interest, though. REM, Without a Time. Perhaps if I had listened to REM in the early 80s, I would have already been turned on to another band that we've been talking about on this podcast that also had a release on August 23rd, 1991, with the 7-inch EP, Summer Babe. Welcome to Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast. Hey, it's JD, and we're here again to talk about our favorite band, Pavement, and to go through the catalog chronologically, 1 week at a time, and maybe meet Stephen Malcolmus. If you're listening on the day this drops, Stephen, happy birthday. I hope you have a big piece of cake and eat it too. Boy, that would be delicious. So we're talking about Summer Babe today. And it's sort of strange because Summer Babe is really known for existing on Slanted and Enchanted. But there are a lot of folks out there that might not be aware that that parenthetical winter version is because there was another version that existed. That was released a full year earlier in 91 on the Drag City label as DC9, the 7-inch EP Summer Babe. 1 song on side 1, 2 tracks on side 2, and it was sort of released as a, I don't know, as like a barrier or a bridge holding back, a levee holding back the excitement that was generated from the Slanted and Enchanted tape that had been circulating around 1991. People were waiting for Slanted. People wanted this band to release this long form album. And instead they released another EP. This EP, though, is remarkably different. It's not full of song ideas or fragments or interludes. There are 3 well-crafted songs, including a song that has become known as a Pavement staple, the aforementioned Summer Babe. I want to read to you something written by Mark Strauss in Cement Mixer in 1991 as he was waiting for Perfect Sound Forever to be released in Manhattan. He says, Pavement's most recent EP, Perfect Sound Forever, isn't available anywhere in Manhattan as of yet, and the forthcoming single, Summer Babe, with all the potential to become the nation's disaffected youth shout-out song, may fare the same. Meanwhile, Pavement's what could be a great album, Slanted and Enchanted, exists only as a demo in Mark Ibold's tape deck. So just sort of to further the idea that this band that hadn't recorded anything that had been released since 1989 was now releasing content that they had recorded in the Christmas break of 1990. So what did they do during all that time in between? Well, they did some mini tours. They started to experiment with the lineup to create a live sound. Bob Nastanovich was the tour manager. There were alternate guitarists that played live. There were the antics of Gary Young that were starting to annoy Stephen. And this band that had really only recorded 4 sessions in the studio was getting ready to become the Pavement that we now know. Now, what do we think about the song Summer Babe? And what are the differences between it and the winter version? Well, the version that appears on the Drag City release is a much more simply produced track. Listen to the hi-hat noise that Gary plays, where most drummers would play a little fill. He does this cool little hi-hat move, and it's much sharper and clean, crisp on the winter version than it is. His drums in general sound better on the winter version. But there's something about the version that appears on the EP that I really enjoy. There is something, if I can put myself back in 1991, raw and mysterious. And what in the world is Stephen singing about? He talks about ice baby. I saw your girlfriend. She was eating her fingers like they were just another meal. Who is that person? Somebody who's nervous, anxious, but so used to being nervous and anxious that it's just another meal. She's waiting. What is she waiting for? Who is she waiting for? Why is she on an abandoned houseboat? I don't have answers this week. My mind has been preoccupied, as you know, but I'd really love to hear some shout outs. I've been getting a lot of really nice feedback from all of you regarding my news, and some great emails that I'd like to read on the show, and I will in future episodes. But for now, I want to know what you think Summer Babe is about. I agree with Mr. Strauss that if this song had been taken under an A&R person's wing or had a radio station, give a damn, that things would be very different right now. Summer Babe is an absolute anthem for disaffected youth and adults alike. It's extremely shoutable. It's such a part of the live experience. For a lot of people, it is Pavement. We're going to talk a little bit more about this song when we get to Slanted. But for now, let's dig in to Summer Babe on Meeting Alchemist, a Pavement podcast.
Ice, baby, I saw your girlfriend and she's eating her fingers like they're just another meal, but she waits there in the levee while she's mixing cocktails with a plastic hexagon. Shiny roads where on the protein delta strip in an abandoned houseboat I will wait there. I'll be waiting forever. I'm waiting. Go! Ice deposit daily. Drop off the first shiny robe. I've got a lot of things I want to sell, but not here, babe. Talk
Meeting Alchemists, a Pavement podcast, is a weekly affair. You can listen, share, rate, and review the show wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about the show, go to www.meetingmalchemists.com. I tweet and Instagram at Meeting Malchemists. Steven, are you listening?
The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So, while ice skating for two is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Mima and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.